Well, Matt and Michael, man, what a team, man. You're going to track everybody in the world to do what they want to do and never lose anything else for the rest of their life, right? But more importantly, I mean, you have a tracking device for an app that is probably the cheapest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's the best value I've ever seen any kind of tracking. Plus, you guys, like, could keep history. I mean, there's so many applications. Not only losing your kid or an old fart like me with Alzheimer's or whatever, that I'm wandering out in the highway, you can find me with this little device. But all the other things. I mean, my kid, I'm thinking he runs marathons, so he could have this little device and then replay the whole marathon on the map to see where he was. And you guys have something, the video you can see on this thing. Man, it's like having a video in the front of your car. It's not this normal Google stuff. I don't know how you did all this. Well, where'd you find the ideas to do all this?
Well, all the ideas and stuff, I just sit around and think of them, I guess. Just so many ideas to do. It's just which one do you tackle first, you know?
Wow.
I tell you, it all starts with Michael's book. He's got a book of ideas.
Oh, really? So, what is it?
So anyways, it's funny. So Michael's very humble in nature, so I'll go ahead and speak on behalf of Michael.
Okay, you're the front man.
So Michael's a serial entrepreneur. He's actually an award-winning entrepreneur for inventions. And he came to me about 4 months ago, just to tell you how close we are. We get together about every other Friday for pizza and wine, because wine goes well with pizza, and pizza goes well with kids. And he said, I have an idea, and he goes, let me run it by you. About a week later, he had a prototype, and he had the software stood up where I could actually start taking a look at it. So between his background of serial inventions, for software and hardware, my background in business, sales, and marketing, we realized that we could bring something really unique and cost-effective to the marketplace.
Wow. No, and reading your background said you're really looking for a way to pay for your kids' college education too, aren't you?
At the end of the day, that's really what
But one of the impetus was, I mean, you have Michael, your daughter's 3 years old, is that it?
That's right.
And Matt, you got a 16-year-old kid who's going to be out on the highway soon?
Yeah, I have a 16, a 6, and a 4.
Wow.
How about your discussion with Track Cloud?
Well, it's funny. So when I talked to my 16-year-old, I said, we have an idea, and you're going to be our first use case. His face went from, Dad, I love it when you've got great ideas. He goes, what does it do? And I said, we're going to be able to track everywhere you drive. He goes,
he's going to think you're part of Homeland Security or something.
Exactly.
But it's actually making your own.
Excited.
Yeah, making your own home secure. I mean, it's not only that. I mean, it's where there's seniors that are, wandering around somewhere, or what's going on, your equipment. I mean, you had a story of the guy who, loses his luggage. You have one of these little devices, and you get them now on Kickstarter for $20, right? And you pop it in your luggage, and you'll never lose that sucker. Actually, I just returned some, running pants to one of the big manufacturers. I put in the normal, post office. I didn't track it anyway. Oh, we don't have it. So, I lost that. For $20, if I had that in the package, I'd have no problem, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a cost-effective alternative to many things that you could possibly think of. For us, it came down to safety and security, and providing a measure of security for not just us, but all the other parents.
Yeah. But
the use cases, the Kickstarter has been so successful so far that people are coming up with their own use cases on an everyday basis.
But I mean, to me, what's more important is that you have a history of where you've been. I mean, so if you're tracking anything, you have employees out around. I mean, it's not like a beeper. You just find the person. I mean, you were able to track on the GPS. I mean, like crumbs, you call them even breadcrumbs, right? Right. Yeah. So you have a history for the rest, and to see, hey, how are we losing time doing this, and what's a better way to do it? I mean, data to me is the only thing that makes life more important in a way, because you could do it better. You need the data. You can't guess. So many of us want to guess. We feel our gut is right. Man, it may be, but you need the data to make it sure.
The funny thing is, the other day I tried to call my wife on her cell phone, and her phone was dead. So I couldn't get a hold of her, so I was wondering where she was at, So I thought, hey, I have one of these track cloud devices in each one of my cars. I pulled out my phone. 2 seconds later, there she is driving down the freeway.
Ah, so she's just in a dead cell zone, huh?
But either that or her phone battery was dead. I don't know what the problem was.
Oh,
but
well, that's
just an
terrific.
example of if you have it in your car, it's always in your car. So
yeah.
either way, you don't have to turn it on. You just leave it there. And it goes anywhere your car goes.
But it seems like so many applications of business. I mean, you're talking about this one fellow who sends $5,000 products out or something like that, instead of relying on well, you buy insurance for something like that. It could be $100 for the insurance, right?
Yeah, they charge quite a bit of money just for insurance. And instead of doing that, you can just throw one of these little devices in the package and away it goes.
So $20 is better than $100.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, from a fleet tracking perspective, I just call it small business enablement. But when you're a small business and you're starting much like we are, every dollar counts.
Right.
And whether you're setting up a pizza shop or any type of delivery functionality, speed and efficiency and best products count. And so we get contacted by small businesses all the time saying, this is perfect. Like his brother-in-law owns a flower business in Florida.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
And so he has all these delivery drivers out all over Florida delivering flowers.
Exactly.
And I guess he likes to know where they're at and when they'll be back and when they'll make the deliveries. And people are asking where they're at and all that kind of information.
Oh, absolutely. They're at the front door or coming down or down the street. And that's why, to me, it's so much better than just the stuff that finds things for you. And that seems like so many of the products are, I lost my keys or something and it finds it or something. But this... to have that history of where you've been, and there's so many good commercial applications for that, but you could tell if someone's speeding.
So the other thing that's nice is this cloud server basically watches over all your track cloud devices you have,
Wow.
and it monitors them for certain things that you set. So in other words, if you set an alert that says, if this track cloud is speeding, send me an email or send me a text message.
Wow.
So you just get a message on your phone that says your teenager is now speeding, or your teenager is somewhere they're not supposed to be, or your teenager.
Wow. Yeah. I mean that's terrific. And what's
I hate to spy on people.
Right.
I don't want to say that I don't trust my kids.
Right.
But you just have an open discussion with them. Say, hey, you're 16-year-old. I'm going to give you a car. I'm going to let you use this car. It just makes me feel safer if I know you're safe.
But I mean, if your 5-year-old's in the park too, you trust her, but she's 5 years old.
Yeah, she's looking for
she's going to see something bright and shiny. We're all like that. No, it's a wonderful device, trackcloud.com. But you're on. I mean, it's really pre-production now. So on Kickstarter, you could get this almost for nothing, right? What's the going price on Kickstarter?
Right now, there's devices for $29.
Wow.
That use your own SIM card. Or there's $39 devices that include the SIM card and data and everything. You don't need to buy anything. You basically just take it out of the box, turn it on, it goes.
There you go. But once this, you go in production, you see this in stores or somewhere, it's going to be like twice the price, right?
Be about $69.
Yeah. So now, if it, not only being the first one on your block to know where everybody in your house is going, but you get a half price. I mean, that's what's so neat about Kickstarter and stuff like that.
Well, that's the beauty of Kickstarter, right? So you're pledging for the privilege to get the device before anyone else at a cost-effective rate that you can consume. But once we go live into general production, which is in June of this year, it's really $69 plus $10 a month.
Wow.
And, that's horribly inexpensive for just about anybody to use it.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a lot cheaper than there are a few other people out there, but they seem industrial stuff, for police cars or something like that, that you don't need all this stuff. Well, you guys are terrific. And people on Kickstarter are helping you. You have so much money already, and you have a few more weeks to go. So everybody believes in what you're doing, and they should, because it's an ideal product. And it just came from the brains of two dads, right, in Texas.
Yep. Two dads in Texas.
And so that's trackcloud.com. And your kids have to tell you how to spell because you have it TRAQ, right, cloud, CLOUD.com. And that's where to find it. You can get the Kickstarter from there, or once Kickstarter's over, they could always find you there, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Well, keep inventing, guys. Thanks for your help.
You're welcome.
Thank you
very much.
Appreciate it.